Alright guys, so here's our video on the rhombus. In case you're not too familiar with the rhombus, you got, basically looks like a diamond or a type of kite. Let's go over these properties that we need to know. All sides are equal. So in a picture, you would see markings like so, and that would give you the giveaway that it's a rhombus. Alright, so I'll show you an example of that guy. Diagonals are perpendicular. That means makes a right angle. You should know that. And bisect each other. You should know that. They cut each other in half. Okay, so as I create my diagonals here, so what you need to know is you will have your 90-degree in here. All right. And that's on all of them, of course, if you want to draw that. And these two red pieces, since it's a bisector, they cut each other in half. These two red pieces are equal to each other. All right. And the black pieces here are equal to each other. So notice I used two different symbols. That means these two are only equal to each other. And these two are equal to each other. They are not all four equal to each other. Okay, so when diagonals cross, we create four congruent right triangles. So let me put our diagonals back in. All right, so I already talked about creating your 90-degree angle. Okay, so if I was to give you one of these, so here's a 30 I'll throw here. All right. That means all four of these triangles will have a 30. So all these four little triangles will have a 30. And then we could find 30 plus 90 plus 60. Checks me off on this one to get 180. And that means I have 60 on both sides, or on all four of these. I do want you to follow this. Make sure you see this. Are you seeing that that's also a bisector? Okay? So these diagonals also bisect each corner. So make sure you're aware of that, and it should make sense, okay? Because you're going to have two 60s, you're going to have a 60 on all these and a 30s on all these, so it should show you or make sense that they're cut in half. So if this side was like 120, you would have to know that you can cut into two 60s. All right? If this was 40, that would be two 20s. You can just cut that in half. All right, so one diagonal, so if we look at one diagonal here, it creates two congruent isosceles triangles. Since all sides are equal, you're basically looking at this diagonal as a mirror. So these two are equal. Now, if you saw this diagonal, you should see the same exact thing. You should see these two bigger triangles are equal. All right, so how can they identify rhombuses in pictures? All right, so they will say this, if you see images like this, that's a rhombus or a square, but you'd be able to tell if there's a 90-degree angle here. Only the square has a 90-degree angle here. They'll show you that's 90 if they want it to be a square. Another way it can show you that it's a rhombus is to show you this. So if you see this in a picture, you will have a rhombus. Okay, one more way that I didn't put on here, so if you want to draw this, I know drawing rhombuses could suck. But if you see something like this, like they're cut in half here, I talked about this being a bisector. So that would be another way to show you a rhombus in a picture. All right, so there is the rhombus.